Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the second day of International Conference on Psychology, Counseling, Guidance, Therapy, Interventions, Education, Environment, Health, Well-being, and Sustainable Development 2024, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 76 years of independence, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns, and also commemorating 17th Annual Psychology Day at United Nations and APA Psychology Week, which is commemorated this week in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute, Center for Art, Sciences and Well-being, and also all other collaborators, national and international psychology and multidisciplinary fraternity. So without taking much time, let's start the sessions with the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations, and then we will move on to presentations. Today, we are celebrating International Mother Earth Day, also known as Earth Day, and also known as World Earth Day. Whatever name we are calling, today is very important day, not only for the earth, but also for us, as we are dependent on the earth, that is on planet, for various aspects, like for our livelihood, lifestyle, food, the basic necessities without which we cannot survive, like air to breathe and water to drink, food to eat, and having companionship with other species and fellow beings in a same species, and so on. And we are also dependent on the climate. So that's why this impacts our overall health and well-being. And it is also very much linked to our psychological health and well-being. So we'll see how this is impacting us and all the species on the planet, and why this is very important for all of us. Today, Mother Earth sends us a message, a reminder to all of us on the planet. Mother Earth is clearly urging a call to action. Nature is suffering. Oceans are filling with plastic and turning more acidic. Extreme heat, wildfires, and floods have affected millions of people. Climate change human-made changes to nature as well as crimes that disrupt biodiversity, such as deforestation, land use change, intensified agriculture, and livestock production, especially animal farming, that is contributing, and also the growing illegal wildlife trade, which are accelerating the speed of destruction of the planet and also contributing to the climate change. And this year is the third Mother Earth Day celebrated within the UN decade of ecosystem restoration, ecosystem support all life on the earth. The healthier our ecosystems are, the healthier the planet and its people. That's how it is directly and indirectly related to our health and well-being, including psychological health. Because when we are talking about overall health and well-being, psychology, psychological health or mental health is also one of the important aspects, domain of health. That's why this nature environment is also equally important. The study of environment and also its impact on various species, including human beings, is also very much important for the health and well-being of not only just human beings, but all the species on the planet. Even we have specializations related to environment psychology and also various other subspecialties or subspecializations related to nature. We'll also look into various divisions, APA divisions, as and when we get some time after the presentations. So UN Environment offers extensive data and reports, and the planet is losing 10 million hectares of forest every year, an area larger than Iceland. A healthy ecosystem helps to protect us from various diseases and disorders. Biological diversity makes it difficult for pathogenesis to spread rapidly. It is estimated that around 1 million animal and plant species are now threatened with extinction. And this is only just recorded and reported. More than that, there may be many times more that because of human-made activities, many species on the planet have become extinct, and some are endangered, some are critically endangered. So for the International Mother Earth Day, let's remind ourselves more than ever that we need a shift to more sustainable economy that works for both people as well as the planet. And let's promote harmony within the nature and earth. So join the global movement to restore our world. This decade, 2020 to 2030, is the decade of restoration. That is, we have gone beyond what we can restore on the planet. So that's why if we do not act now it is high time. If we do not act now, we are going to pay a heavy price in terms of life loss, property loss, and also pain and suffering, lack of food and resources, and also soon human species will also become extinct. So this is a high time that we all come together and work and move towards sustainable development. The UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration provides a great opportunity to revive natural world amidst the ongoing environmental crisis. While a decade may seem lengthy, scientists emphasize that these next 10 years, already in which 4 years, this is the 4th year, Scientists emphasizes that these next 6 years are pivotal in combating climate change and preventing the loss of countless species within the UN decade that can contribute to building a generation restoration. We all have a role in climate action. We must work together to meet the commitments in the 2015 Paris Agreement. But what is exactly climate change? And what does Paris Agreement say? What actions are being taken? Who is carrying them out? And what are the latest scientific reports on the subject? Are we in time to save Mother Earth? We need to explore and connect these and take up research on these aspects and how they are affecting, impacting the human life, health and well-being, and also the other health and well-being of various species. Rooted in the decade that gave rise to the global environmental movement, the General Assembly of United Nations designated 22nd April as the International Mother Earth Day through a resolution adopted in 2009. The original roots go back to 1970s when the environmental protection was not yet a priority to the national political agendas. The UN Conference on the Human Environment, 1972, in Stockholm, marked the beginning of a global awareness of the independence between people, other living species, and our planet, as well as the establishment of World Environment Day on 5th June and the Environment Program, in short known as UNEP. In 1992, Agenda 21, the Rio Declaration and Environment and Development, and the Statement of Principles for the Sustainable Development of Forests were adopted by more than 178 governments of the Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit, the first major conference in which sustainable development was the main issue discussed by member states. From then on, all efforts to conserve the environment experienced an exponential growth. The Earth Summit in Johannesburg in 2002, the declaration of 2008 as International Year of Planet Earth, the UN official Mother Earth Day declaration, Rio +20, resulting in a focused political outcome document which contains clear and practical measures for implementing sustainable development. And recently, the Climate Action Summit 2019 and COP25, both focusing on achievement of the Paris Agreement, and the United Nations celebrate the observance through the Harmony with Nature initiative, a platform for global sustainable development that celebrates annually on interactive dialogue on International Mother Day. So topics include methods for promoting a holistic approach to harmony with nature and an exchange of national experiences regarding criteria and indicators to measure sustainable development in harmony with nature. So under resolution 63/278, the United Nations established International Mother Earth Day, which has taken place on April 22 since 2009. The state of Bolivia proposed the resolution, which was adopted by more than 50 member nations. The resolution acknowledges that the earth and its ecosystems are our home, and it is critical to promote harmony with nature and the earth. Mother Earth is used because it reflects the interconnections that exist between humans, other living species, and the planet we all share. And International Mother Earth Day, which is a global awareness campaign aimed at raising awareness of the threats of the planet's well-being and life it supports. The day also recognizes a shared responsibility, as stated in the Rio Declaration of 1992, to promote harmony with nature and the earth in order to achieve a just balance between economic, social, and environmental needs of current and future generations of humanity. Although this day was first observed in 2010, the 1972 United Nations Conference on Human Environment in Stockholm marked the beginning of the global recognition of people's interdependence with other living species and our planet. This day aims to encourage the Earth's people to take action in relieving our planet from harmful acts and commit to cleaner, greener environments. Our fascinating planet is not talked about enough, but this day gives people a chance to learn all about planet and how it came into existence. The solar nebula, a disc-shaped collection of dust and gas left over from the birth of the sun, which is created the rest of the solar system, accreted into Earth some billions years ago, somewhere around 4.54 billions or more. Earth, the third planet from the sun, is the only planet in the known cosmos where life has been comfort. So this is the only planet we have, and we are destroying our own planet. There is no other place where you can live. So it's our responsibilities, it's everyone's responsibility to protect, conserve, and promote sustainable development, to protect our planet Earth. With a radius of 3,959 miles, Earth is the sixth largest planet in our solar system. Every other planet in the solar system was named after a Greek or Roman god, but certain cultures have defined our world for at least 1,000 years using the Germanic word earth, which simply means the ground. This is based on the Western literature. The Silent Spring by Rachel Carson's New York Times bestseller creates a watershed movement in public understanding and concern for living organisms and environment, which was released in 1960. Silent Spring is a book, wonderful book to read. It is must for everyone. The inaugural of Earth Day gives rise to the establishment of UN Environmental Protection Agency in 1979. Rio de Janeiro hosts the United Nations Earth Summit, a premise to the International Mother Earth Day in 1992. Senator Nelson receives the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in the United States, from President Bill Clinton for his role in founding Earth Day in 1995. International Mother Earth Day is established by United Nations General Assembly in 2009. That marks the birthday of this International Mother Earth. Now, where is the end of the world? The northmost part of the Norway is known as the end of the world or end of the earth. At least 1.5 billion years are remaining for the earth to host life as per the reports, where earth can support life. But here, because of human activities, there are a lot of things that are happening. So earth will continue to support the life, but many of the species may become extinct or endangered. It has been 3.5 billion years since the beginning of time. The life has started, and it's everyone's responsibility, especially human beings, because we are the primary contributors for this destruction on the planet, which is affecting not only human beings, but all the species on the planet. So According to estimates, Americans use 100 billion plastic bags per year, which end up in landfills and wreak havoc on the marine life. Instead, buy some adorable reusable shopping bags to use at the supermarket. You'll not only look great, but you will be good for the environment as well. So purchase reusable bags. This is just in America. Just assume how much it would be for the entire world. If you take entire world, this may be just one day's consumption. And trees, among other things, help to regulate city's temperature, clean the air, and produce more oxygen. So plants take carbon dioxide and release oxygen. They store carbon dioxide. So that's why we need to plant more trees. Plant a tree in your backyard or grow your own fruits and vegetables to improve your health and reduce fossil fuel emissions by eliminating need to travel, to store for food, and also to regulate the climate. The temperatures, always grow plants, either indoor plants, if possible, if you have space. You can also grow some outdoor plants. So we can get some fresh air outside when we get so caught up in what's going on in the world of social media or online media, we forget how much fun it is to get out of the house. So use Earth Day to your advantage as a gentle reminder of our planet's beauty and wonder. If you have a backyard, spend an afternoon reading, picnicking, or simply listening to the sounds of nature. Earth is more than 365 days, Earth year, which is somewhere in precisely 365.2564 days long, not 365 days exactly. So, which is why we have a leap year every 4 years. Why this leap year is formed? So that we are just taking 365 days a year. Now, what will happen to that extra days? So that's why every year, every once in 4 years, we are getting this leap year. Unlike other planets, no historical information on the person or group who named our Earth has been discovered. So we don't know exactly who gave our planet the name Earth. According to the space.com, the Earth may have once possessed 2 moons. Of course, though it is not proved, that is a theory assumption. The Earth's rock cycle transforms igneous rocks into sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks, and then back to igneous rocks. So Earth continuously recycles the ground. Like Earth, the moon also experiences quakes, like we are experiencing earthquakes on planet. Even does the moon. So this day, International Mother Earth Day, serves as a reminder for the fragility of our planet and the importance of protecting. If Senator Nelson had not taken a stand in the 1970s, we might still have been building lead-guzzling automobiles and boosting industrial production through smog, smoke, and waste. So it reminds us of protecting the earth, especially this is in the context of US. In the honor of International Mother Earth Day, we must continue to raise environmental awareness, educating the public about the potential harm that humans can cause while demonstrating the widespread global support for environmental protection. And this day also provides an opportunity to educate ourselves and people about various environmental issues, environmental hazards that affect people and other living and non-living beings, and also our planet. It also reminds our elected officials of the importance of the environmental action to us and their constituents. So even before UN has adopted this International Mother Day, Earth Day was celebrated earlier before UN has officially designated April 22 as Earth Day. For the past 50 years, Earth Day has been celebrated by billions of people around the globe annually every April 22nd to join together in promoting awareness for the health of our environment. Some people may view it as just as another day or a holiday or a celebration or a commemoration or an excuse to wear green or flower crown or similar to any other day. But with serious concerns about our changing environment, climate change being studied and addressed today by prominent scientists, politicians, and young climate change activists alike, some people are adapting to more environmental friendly ways of living every day, not just on April 22nd, every year. Cue the composting, recycling, repurposing, carpooling, thrifting, and metal straws to save turtles, and so on. The idea of for Earth Day was originally born in 1969 when a US Senator named Gaylord Nelson witnessed the effects of a massive oil spill in Santa Barbara, CA. He called to action all Americans to take a stand for the environment in 1970. And thousands of colleagues and colleges and universities across the United States organized protests for a healthy, sustainable Earth. This included air pollution from factories and freeways, as well as the loss of habitats for animals and animal extinction. Because of these national rallies, the first Earth Day helped create the United States Environmental Protection Agency and Clean Air, Clean Water, and Endangered Species Acts into law. So that was the beginning history of all these laws and acts on environment. Today we have similar concerns, and unfortunately they are even messier than the original oil spill. Increasing natural disasters and human-made disasters, extreme weather, and rising global temperatures may seem impossible for one human, let alone millions or even billions of humans to slow down or stop. It has been reported that coral reefs are dying, and we see pictures of animals on land and in the ocean with trash in their bellies or around their neck and all over the body, outside and inside. And corporate factories and large companies around the world continue to pollute our air and our living spaces and habitats. But a small action like picking up litter on a sidewalk that may otherwise end up around the neck of an animal or in the ocean still makes an impact, a step in the right direction, and an important change. So, no matter how small or how big the act is, always engage in some kind of activity where you can contribute to the environment. 20 million Americans protested in the streets for more environmental protections for the first ever Earth Day, 1970. 200 million people are now organizing and united, fighting for climate protections across 141 countries. And Earth Day becomes globally popular since 1990. Young people began to strike for climate change, led by Greta Thunberg in Sweden, with around 2,200 strikes organized in 125 countries from 2018 to 2019. School strikes for climate change in 2018. A Green New Deal resolution is presented to the United States Congress for 100% renewable zero emission energy resources in 2019. So there are many things to do to support our Earth planet and multiple ways to get connected locally to your community on Earth Day. Like attending an online event like this also creates and supports awareness and also an opportunity to educate each other. Through supporting this day, through apparel is also encouraged in order to promote awareness. The most important thing is not what you wear on this day, but what you do. So reduce your carbon footprint, get creative with new ways to switch up your commute or part of it, your daily routine instead of driving to your destination. Carpool with your friends, take public transportation, walk, skate, scooter, or ride a bike depending on the weather. You may enjoy this new form of travel even more than sitting in traffic. Reuse and recycle your wardrobe, though it may seem insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Your closet and your shopping habits can actually have a negative effect on our environment. By buying thrifted or gently used outfits online, new resources aren't used to make more clothes that will eventually end up being repurposed, reused, or in a landfill. Some studies have shown that online shopping is better for the environment because it takes about 30% less resources to sell items online. Switch up your diet. Most people, you may know that food production accounts for 1/4 to 1/3 of all greenhouse gas emissions worldwide, and the majority of the blame falls on the meat industry. The BBC recently reported that if the entire world became vegetarian and ate no red meat by 2050, food-related emissions would decrease by 60%. And if the world went vegan instead, emissions would decrease around 70%. So it may be time, it is also a high time to try out the new Beyond Meat food. Try to be more vegan because it's the climate that matters. It's the health that matters. The more demand for meat, the more industrial animal farming and more greenhouse gas emissions that will accelerate the climate change more. That means more disasters and more diseases and disorders and more challenges to be faced. According to the National Geographic Society, the carbon dioxide in our atmosphere has never been higher, in part particularly potentially due to nature and in part due to the advances as we humans have made it in industrialization across the globe since 1700s. So there is a high amount of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere. Now, plants are the only way, as plants naturally take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen. So plants and oceans, especially forests and oceans, more than forests because we have just 1/3 of the land and 2/3, more than 2/3 is ocean. So ocean takes in more carbon dioxide in the form of coral leaves, and they consume carbon dioxide and release oxygen. And similarly, on the land, forests like trees consume carbon dioxide and release oxygen. Oxygen is again consumed by human beings. So we are highly dependent on the nature and other species. So we have to ensure for our health and well-being, we have to ensure the health and well-being of plants and animals, flora and fauna. Otherwise, we are going to pay a heavy price for our health and well-being in the form of disasters, diseases, disorders. Many people may not know this, but the more food we waste, we do not consume, the more greenhouse gases are emitted to transport and biodegrade the waste. When you throw away the food, wasted food, it releases gases in the process of decomposing, and that will also add to the greenhouse gas emissions. And even when you are disposing that food in the trash bins, and that is collected by the solid waste collectors, and they have to be transported and dumped in a dumping site. So entire process wastes much more resources. Just it's not the food that is getting wasted, but in this process, a lot of greenhouse gas emissions are also emitted. So buy or use only the quantity you can consume. Do not waste food. Even to produce food, it consumes a lot of natural resources. According to the US Global Change Research Program, the temperature in the US has increased by 2 degrees in the last 50 years, and the precipitation has increased by 5%. More extreme weather phenomena have been occurring in the past 50 years. Extreme weather in 2019 broke over 120,000 records in the US. And every year we see temperatures are rising constantly. There is no downtrend, only uptrend we are observing. So every year temperatures are rising. Now this year we have already crossed 47 degrees in April itself. And imagine what it is going to be in May. So the body, human body or humans can tolerate up to 40 degrees. Already we are going through the temperature beyond our normal capacities. And we are using more air conditioners, ACs to cool our places, our habitats, and that is generating again more greenhouse gas emissions. It is consuming more energy. To generate energy, again, we need to consume more fossil fuels for generating energy. So it's a cyclic that the more resources we use, the more we are contributing to the climate change. Even though 97% of more of climate scientists agree that climate change is likely or definitely due to human activity, even according to the Earth Day Network, and nearly 200 scientific organizations globally have issued statements that agree with this, and it is still widely debated topic. Of course, it is very well known. Now, who is the one who is contributing to all this? Human beings only, human activities, human choices, more and more preference for meat, more and more methane gas and other greenhouse gas emissions. So unless and until we change our lifestyle, we are not going to get the benefits. And we continue to accelerate the climate change. That is, we continue to bear the brunt of increasing temperatures, droughts, floods, untimely rainfalls, and so on, water scarcity, and so on. China, with their human population of 1.4 billion, and India, which is now recently surpassed China, and we crossed 1.4 billion, is currently the top emitter of carbon dioxide, accounting for 30% of global carbon emissions. So, according to the Earth Day Network. However, the United States, with a population of around 328 million, comes in second under China as top emitter, as 15% of carbon emissions. These, especially developed countries, are the major polluters of the world because of their development activity. The idea behind continuing to celebrate this Earth Day and why we love it, it is because based on the people working together in unity to achieve a better future for everyone, because it's important for everyone, it's need for everyone. Everyone needs fresh air, fresh water, pure water, and good food, nutritious food without any pollution, without any chemicals. So connecting with people around the world is also important to continue to appreciate and respect people from different countries and other differences in opinion. No one is left out or left behind. Everyone can do something small to make an impact on our planet. You don't have to plant a forest to enjoy Earth Day. Even if you feel like reusing your metal water bottle or plastic bottle instead of buying a plastic bottle or a styrofoam coffee cup doesn't make much of difference. Your small acts can change and improve the world we live in it. So now that you have awareness about the climate change and how the climate change is affecting all of us, do your part to make positive changes, whatever small or big you can do, no matter how small, they are significant. And this is your choice to improve our world, our planet. And this day, Earth Day, serves as a conscious reminder of how fragile our ecosystem can be and how our actions can have positive or negative consequences on the world we live in. This day serves to ground us in what we need to do to protect our home, our planet, our earth, and what we can do now in the light of all damage we have already done to our planet. Not everyone has to go out in the streets and protest, but we all need to be reminded to stay in the right mindset, not to live in the constant fear of the world burning down and flooding, but not to live in ignorance either. And as the plastic menace is growing every day by day, and it has become so severe, scientists believe that microplastics in our body may be responsible for everything from cancer to autism, to Alzheimer's, to birth defects, to falling fertility rates. That's why these days very important for us, and environment, climate change is also important for the health professionals, psychologists, social workers, and health and community workers and professionals. We could save them a lot of time if the oil, gas, and plastic industries will tell us what they know. They already know about them, but their priority is profit maximization. Their priority is to create a circular economy. But at what cost? The third largest plastic producer in the world is Dow Inc. We can ask them to release any studies or information they have on the health impacts associated with full cycle of plastics. And we need to approve, we need to approach these largest manufacturers of plastics along with users of plastic, whether they are aware, whether any research has been conducted, how these are impacted, so that they will look for opportunities to reduce. And we are observing it, breathing it, consuming it. And plastics are toxic. So unfortunately, single-use plastics are so prevalent that trying to avoid them can seem hopeless, but nothing more hopeless than losing ourselves in the battle. If it is a do or die situation, which is almost we are in that situation, if you have to survive, you have to do it. Otherwise, you will die. So that's why this campaign also focuses on systematic problems of plastic use, including large sources of plastic. End plastic pollution informs policymakers, contribute to the international discussion on plastic pollution and its causes, including pushing for national legislation and corporate commitments. This also engages with and informs a global network of NGOs, grassroots organizations, campus youth, mayors, and other local elected leaders, faith leaders, artists, athletes, research scholars, students, and academicians, teachers, to all to bring awareness and to be part of this End Plastic Pollution campaign. Plastics are a danger to humanity and all living creatures, disrupting the delicate balance on the earth, creating health risks. Rapidly phasing out all single-use plastics, urgently push for strong UN treaty on plastic pollution and call for an end to fast fashion. We need to demand change, and we need to be the change that we would like to see. Investing in innovative technologies and materials to build a plastic-free world by encouraging more reusable, alternative, eco-friendly natural materials and products. Today, we are also commemorating Global Selfie Day, which is also related to Earth Day. NASA invites all of us and everyone else on the planet to take part in a worldwide celebration of the Earth Day with the agency's Global Selfie event, with NASA satellites constantly looking at Earth from space. On Earth Day, we are asking you to step outside and take a picture of yourself in the corner of the world and then post it so that we'll be able to create awareness and campaign and be part of the campaign. NASA astronauts brought home the first ever images of the whole planet from space. Now, NASA satellites capture new images of Earth every second, with Earth observing missions orbiting our home planet right now, and more set to launch this year. NASA studies Earth atmosphere, land, and oceans in all their complexity. What are you waiting for? Take a global selfie and share it. And today, there is also an important event that is commemorated today, which is also very much important for our overall health and well-being. And this is the last commemoration of the day. After this, we'll be inviting the presentations. So presenters, be ready with your presentations and keep sharing your details in the chat box so that we can invite you. Before that commemoration, let's watch a short video.
and more area is covered by steppe fires.
Satu abrasi yang luar biasa hingga desa-desa itu banyak yang tenggelam.
De plus en plus, les conflits augmentent.
Unless we understand that, this will be getting worse and worse.
But that doesn't tell the whole story. You can see this as the front line against climate change.
Wild ungulates such as saiga, their intermediate grazing pressure helps to maintain such habitats.
Restaurar a floresta não é fácil.
Le pusimos lo que es granza de arroz, tierra, carbón.
挨了一苦的鱼儿吃了以后排出的粪便，他感觉到盯着眼睛的啊。
O movimento da restauração não é só restaurar florestas, restaurar paisagens, restaurar vida.
It's the same needs, the same approach. So we need to act together.
Este es mi hogar. No hemos perdido la esperanza.
Once upon a time, plastic was fantastic.
By a miracle of modern science, a brand new world.
You won't believe this.
The possibilities of plastics are endless.
How?
Radio and the telephone depend on plastics. Handbags, shopping bags.
Shiny plastic shoes. Nylons are plastic too.
Say, this isn't like the stuff my wife uses. It's clear.
Wherever you look, there is another use for plastic.
But something was wrong with this fairy tale.
Modern plastics remain in their original state almost indefinitely.
Forever and ever and ever.
There was no happily ever after.
Buy it, use it, throw the rest away.
There was only ever after.
Grandchildren will not see the end of it.
The problem is, we're now addicted to plastic.
Mass production, mass production, mass production. Plastic on an industrial scale.
We've now produced enough of the stuff to wrap the world thousands of times over.
They look good.
So it's time to write a new story.
Try something new.
We must eliminate unnecessary plastics and redesign products to reuse, repair, and repurpose. We must break the habit today if we want a future free of plastic pollution. Now, wouldn't that be fantastic?
My fear is that future generations will miss out on all the beauty, that pollution will take over our beautiful world.
My fear is that most of our decision makers are ignorant of the destructions going on.
My fear is that we will not be fast enough in mitigating climate change.
My fear is that my children and grandchildren will have no fresh air, water, or land, that their quality of life will be so lacking.
My fear is that greed, capitalism, and short-term profits will win over our planet's health, and that human beings, with their actions, will deliberately destroy biodiversity.
My fear is that we will be too late. But my hope is that we can be brave, stop talking and start acting, to come together as a family and heal the planet.
Every year, the world generates 2.3 billion tons of municipal solid waste. Without action, by 2050, we will increase our municipal solid waste to 3.8 billion tons annually. Waste aggravates the climate crisis. Waste aggravates nature and biodiversity loss. Waste aggravates pollution. Waste comes in all forms, including plastic, food, textiles, and chemicals. But through better design, clearer economic signals, and proper management of waste, we can create a prosperous circular economy. Historic negotiations to end plastic pollution are already underway. We have the technical expertise, the drive to innovate, and the knowledge to find solutions to the waste crisis. 30th March is International Day of Zero Waste, an opportunity to achieve sustainable development, protect human health, and combat the triple planetary crisis of climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. Our waste, our responsibility. Together, we can beat waste pollution.
For me, the message is my health depends on the health of the ocean. My name is Professor Laura Fleming. I'm the co-lead of the Ocean Panel Blue Paper on Oceans and Human Health. So I'm a physician and epidemiologist, and I approach the idea of ocean and human health as being inextricably interlinked. The ocean is 70% of the Earth's surface. It provides our oxygen, our water, our climate control. Ocean biodiversity, all biodiversity, but particularly ocean biodiversity, is important for our health because so much of it is unknown. We now have cancer drugs for humans that are derived from organisms that come from the ocean. And if we don't sustain this biodiversity, we will lose the opportunity not only for those existing medications, but for those that could be developed. Besides the fact that the ocean provides so many things for us, we now have evidence that interacting with oceans can be really good for our physical and mental well-being. And we also have information now that that kind of interaction, as well as consuming high-quality, sustainable seafood, can prevent chronic diseases.
My name is Radisti Praptiwi. I'm an environmental scientist based in Esa Unggul University, Indonesia. So our study, which was part of the Blue Communities program, looked at how the ocean could play a crucial role in maintaining mental well-being of small-scale fisheries communities during the stressful time such as the COVID-19 pandemic. These communities were not immune to the stress and anxiety caused by the lockdown measures, but our study observed a positive correlation between recreational activities and mental well-being, especially activities that involves immersive interaction with the ocean like swimming and snorkeling. This suggests that the ocean may act as a buffer to protect against adverse mental health outcomes.
There are many threats to the ocean's health, and unfortunately many of them are derived from human activities.
If we talk about climate change and the ocean, the coastal population of the global south will be the most vulnerable.
At the same time, the pollution that we create in different parts of the world ends up all around the ocean.
The natural world has to be protected not only for its economic value or other material benefits, but also for its intrinsic quality.
Interacting with the ocean gives me hope. It gives me hope for the future generations, not only of humans, but all living organisms on this planet.
So we have seen how our health and well-being, including our psychological or mental health and well-being, is also closely related to the environment, nature, and climate around us. That's why we are mentioning even yesterday also, psychology is related to everything on the planet. It all depends on how we are able to connect and how we are able to interpret through the science of psychology and try to understand the kind of impact it has on the human beings and also on the environment and other species. Today, we have another important commemoration also, World Laboratory Animal Liberation Week. especially it is commemorated in US. But as we are highly dependent, are interdependent on flora and fauna, this also is a very important aspect to be considered, especially when we are involving flora and fauna in our experiments, our studies, and so on. World Laboratory Animal Liberation Week, which is celebrated in US, which falls during the week that surrounds around 24th every year. So this year it is being observed in between April 22 to 28, which coincides with the Psychology Week. And laboratory animals are typically subjected to a variety of treatments by scientists, especially many studies in medical, even, psychological, even our behavioral research, which was conducted by Pavlov and various other psychologists, also used animals, right? So laboratory animals are typically subject to a variety of treatments by scientists and other professionals, resulting in millions of animals suffering and dying each year. Although improved procedures are being introduced into laboratories to replace animal testing, some antiquated laws still require animal testing before a product may be introduced to the market. So this week raises awareness about the brutality that animals face in the laboratories and persuades the government to fund advanced experimental procedures that are more relevant to humans and safer for animals. The Institute of World Day for Laboratory Animals, which was founded in 1979, while Associated Animal Laboratory Week was founded on April 20, 2020. They had both been the driving force behind the movement to end the cruelty of animals in laboratories. And there is also a significant impact on, correlation of animal violence to human violence. Those who are involved in animal violence are also involved in human violence. So that we will see in a different study. Now limiting our self to this. Commercial facilities. So they seek to replace use of animals with scientific treatments that are suitable for the purpose and will discourage the use of animals. Commercial facilities, universities, laboratories, pharmaceutical businesses, industries, and medical schools, colleges are all the most important places where animals are used in the research. Living animals were used for experiments by Erastus and Aristotle among the first in the West. Galen, a Roman physician in the 2nd century, dissected pigs and goats after death. Avenzoar, an Arabic physician in Moorish Spain in 12th century, devised an experimental strategy for testing surgical operations on animals before trying them on humans. Animals have been used in biomedical research from the beginning of recorded history. The Dublin Zoo was founded in 1831 by doctors who were interested in researching both living and dead animals. In the 1880s, Louis Pasteur used anthrax to show the germ theory of medicine. Pasteur demonstrated the germ theory of medicine in the 1880s by introducing anthrax into sheep. For many diseases, the germ theory is currently accepted scientific theory, as it asserts that germs or pathogens are microorganisms that can cause disease. So toxicology testing became popular in the 20th century. Drug relations were relatively relaxed in the 19th century. In the United States, for example, the government could ban a drug only after it has prosecuted a company for selling the same drugs that harmed its users. However, in reaction to the 1937 Exeler sulfanilamide catastrophe in which the eponymous medicine killed over 100 people. The United States Congress created regulations requiring drug safety testing on animals first before they could be commercialized. So Koch infected guinea pigs and mice with anthrax in 1880s, and the Germans infect mules in Argentina, which results in the death of 200 mules in 1970. Insulin is isolated from dogs, which brings about the treatment of diabetes in 1922. Antibiotic treatment for leprosy develops using armadillos in 1970s. So all these involved animals. Experiments or scientists performing surgeries on them repeatedly. They are frequently force-fed, have wires placed in their brains, and after all, they are given no painkillers and thrown into the cage. Most of them are euthanized, while a few of them are adopted out after testing. Animals do experience pain during testing. They are sentient beings. They also feel pain. They also feel pleasure as well. So it's time for petitions, as petitions are going around to stop the use of animals for experiments in laboratories. You can observe this day by signing one. By doing that, you have contributed to the movement. If you are a scientist or a clinician that has previously been experimenting on animals and hurting them in the process, you can observe this day by putting an end to that practice. Other advanced methods are being introduced to laboratories to use instead of animals. You can lend your voice to this movement by spreading this word, educate people around on the harm that animals in the laboratories are exposed to and why we need to stop this practice. We love animals, we care about animals, and it bothers us that they are being utilized in laboratories for a variety of research that may cause harm to them. This contributes to raising awareness of how significant this is. It is an opportunity to stand for justice. Animals are used for experiments because they cannot talk. It is believed that they have no rights, but they have. As we have human rights, they also have animal rights, and they have limited ability to defend themselves against any injustice done to them. They are more vulnerable than women and children. So that's why we have to lend a voice for them, and it is an opportunity for us to stand against the injustice done to the animals. By putting a stop to the use of animals in the laboratories, we are encouraging the use of alternative, which is an advanced technology, to replace the use of animals. So let's all take a pledge today on the occasion of World Earth Day, International Mother Earth Day, to end or to reduce, to end the pollution and help us creating and promoting healthier environment so that it has positive impact on health and well-being of us human beings and also various species on the planet. So we will move on to the today's presentations from now. We request all the presenters to share your details in the chat box. Now we will invite our first speaker for the day for their presentations. So we have Satyendra Prasad Rajgun. Are you available? You can raise your hand. And now you can start your audio, video, and presentation. You can lower your hand. You can introduce yourself and start your presentation quickly. Then start sharing. We can see you, but we can't hear you. All the presenters waiting for your presentations, quickly share your details in the chat box. As per the queue order, we will be inviting you. And kindly use this opportunity. Those who are not able to present on the previous day, on the same day, you can present on the very next day. As you have seen, a lot of presenters have registered. Even most of them have been also scheduled on the website. Don't keep all the presentations pending till last day. You may not get opportunity. So try to complete the presentations as early as possible. Yeah, Satyendra, any issue from your side? We can't hear you. You need to check your audio. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I am here.
Yeah. So quickly share your presentation.
Yeah. Is this visible?
Yeah, please continue. You can go to first slide, start your video.
Everything's fine. Is this everything fine?
No, your video is off.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this clear? Everything's fine.
Yeah, I think there is some problem. Your video is getting switched off.
After sharing the screen, its video is off.
Maybe you need to change some settings in the... Okay, you continue now. But you fix it for the next presentation.
Okay. Myself, Engineer Satyendra Prasad Rajgun, Director Technology and Research Center, Gurdwana International Technology and Research Center, Guitar, Bhatparani, India. First of all, thank to this organization and organizer to give me the opportunity for this presentation. So now come to the presentation topic. to develop advanced version of WhatsApp by embedded C programming. So these are the outline: introduction, literature review, research gap, methodology, software implementation, discussion, conclusion, references. So introduction. In this era, so I want to enhance the number of people in a WhatsApp group, like to up to 9,999 people added in a WhatsApp group. So it's the basic idea of this research paper. So now in this research paper delve into the creation of an advanced version of WhatsApp through the utilization of embedded C programming, aiming to address crucial aspect of security, efficiency, and feature enhancement. As the reliance on instance messaging for personal and professional communication continue to grow, so does the need for application that not only facilitates seamless interaction but also ensure the utmost privacy and security of user data. So embedded C programming stand out as a robust choice for development of resources efficiency and reliability application, particular on device with limited processing capability, and also the ensuring capability with the diverse range of device and end-to-end protection of user message and data. These are the introduction. Now the additional feature is the go beyond a traditional message functionality. So, user experience within the context of a messaging application. Embedded C programming to achieve this object. So now the demonstration the potential of embedded systems to shaping the future of instant messaging, and paper 6 to shed light on the innovation introduced in the development of advanced version of WhatsApp. So literature review in this slide. So I want to show the what is the enhancement to the WhatsApp. So that the first point is chosen: security challenges in instant message. So that's it's research highlighting vulnerability related to data privacy, unauthorized access, and intercept of message. Existing encryption protocol, although robust, face ongoing scrutiny as cyber threat become. The previous study underscores the need for continued innovation to stay ahead of potential security breaches. And next slides, next point is embedded system in mobile application development. So its literature review demonstrate the efficiency of embedded C programming in optimization memory using processor efficiency. Now the encryption algorithm in mobile application. It's enhancing the encryptography method for improving security. Now the feature enhancing in instant messaging to pivotal aspect of enhancing user experience and overall application functionality. Previous work on WhatsApp security and feature. So preferences and expectation provided valuable insights into the future preferences and the evolving landscape of communication needs. Integration of embedded C in mobile application. So the research has demonstrated the benefit of using embedded C to optimize code size, enhancing performance, and facilitate portability across different hardware platforms. Research gap and contribution. So notable research gap existing in the context of the advanced version of WhatsApp. And review sets the stage of subsequent section where the research methodology implemented detail and outcome of advanced version of WhatsApp will be detailed. So methodology, there are various types of methodology used to develop this advanced WhatsApp version. by using embedded C programming. Requirement analysis engages with potential user and stakeholder to gather insight into desired feature and environment. System design and improving security framework focusing on end-to-end encryption and advanced cryptography protocol. Embedded C programming integrated encryption algorithm for enhancing data security, emphasizing end-to-end protection of user message, user interface optimization, ensuring intuitive, navigative and user-friendly design to improve overall user experience. So testing and validation. Execute security testing to validates the robustness of encryption and authentication mechanism. Iteration refinement. So the enhancing conduct additional testing after each iteration to validate the effectiveness of implemented changes. Documentation. So specification, code documentation and testing procedure providing clear and accessibility user documentation for the new feature introduced in the advanced version. Deployment. So by following this methodology, the research aimed to achieving a comprehensive and secure advanced version of WhatsApp that leverages the capability and of embedded C programming. So software implementation. So the advanced version of this WhatsApp is embedded, built in embedded C. These are the coding for the 99,999 people are added in this WhatsApp advanced version of WhatsApp group. So the in a real world scenario, encryption algorithm, secure protocol, and additional feature would be implemented with much more complexity. So these are the software implementation and screenshot of the software and output of this software. So these are the next slides to show the number of people added in a group and chatting with each other. So 9,999 people are added and chatting with each other, then the output version. So that's a discussion. Advanced version of WhatsApp by embedded C programming, exploring the integration of embedded C into the development process of WhatsApp to enhancing its security and feature set. This discuss delves into key aspect of the research, highlighting its contribution, challenging and potential implication. Security enhancement to end-to-end encryption. Implementation of robots encryption algorithm in embedded C, ensuring end-to-end protection of user method. This feature addresses a critical concern: contemporary message application, safeguarding user privacy and data integrity. Multi-factor authentication. So many multi-factor are involving in the like security mitigation, the risk of unauthorized access. Resource optimization with embedded C to efficiency resources utilization, like optimize resource utilization, making the advanced version suitable for a diverse range. Compatibility with resources constrained device. So research highlighted embedded C versatility in accommodating device with limited processing capability, expanding the reach of application to broader user base. So future enrichment to secure file sharing and real-time collaboration. Now user interfacing optimization, catering to the evolving expectation of modern user, challenging and consideration to complexity of implementation. So the complexity necessitates careful test and refinement to ensure the robustness and reliability of the application. Use adoption and education. Balancing enhanced security with user-friendly feature in crucial. Maintain the application appeal. Future application and innovation to protect the potential for further innovation. So the successful integration of embedded C programming open avenue for development of advanced feature and security enhancement in other communication platforms. Broader impact on embedded system. So the embedded C can be leveraged for resources efficiency and secure application development. So now the conclusion. In conclusion, the research journey towards creating the advanced version of WhatsApp using embedded C programming has been significant explored into the realm of secure communication and resource efficiency application development. And the security enhancement brought about by this advanced version of Paramount. Multi-factor authentication added an extra layer of defense, contributing to a secure and trusted user environment. The adoption of embedded C programming has proved instrumental in optimization resource utilization. Embedded C in the development of application for drives hardware platform. However, the journey was not without its challenges. So now the complexity of implementing advanced encryption algorithm, user education, and the balancing act between enhancing security and user-friendly feature were crucial consideration for successful adoption. Outcome of this research has broader implication for field of secure communication technology and embedded system. Research contribution valuability insight into the potential of embedded C in developing resources efficiency. This endeavor not only refines the user experience with a popular messaging platform, but also lays the groundwork for future advancement in secure communication technology and broad landscape of embedded system. So these are the references. Any question from participant side anyone can ask. Thank you for this giving the opportunity.
Congratulations. If there are no queries, you can move on to next presentation.
Okay.
Also mention the order of a presentation. You have sent different topic and you have presented different topic. Should not get confused.
On the website, I am presenting same serial. First is this and second is after that.
No, not the schedule. That is tentative schedule, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to follow the message order.
Okay.
You are sending. So that at least we know we are calling as per the message now.
Yeah.
So you don't create confusion.
Okay.
Okay, so this is on WhatsApp.
Yeah. Advanced version of WhatsApp. Next sharing topic, Mike.
So your next topic should be so this is adaptive AI.
Adaptive AI. Is this fine?
Yeah, you can continue.
So to develop adaptive AI by Verilog programming and verify by text-bench programming. So these are the outline: introduction, literature review, research gap, methodology, software implementation, discussion, conclusion, and references. So artificial intelligence has witnessed remarkable advancement in recent years, ushering in an era of intelligent system capable of learning and adapting to changing environment. The integration of Verilog, a hardware description language, offer a unique venue for embedding AI algorithm directly into hardware, providing potential advance in terms of speed, efficiency, and adaptability. Essence of adaptive AI lies in its capability to dynamically learn and make decisions in response to evolved circumstances. Verilog, renowned for its role in hardware design, become a key player in this research, aiming to seamlessly integrate adaptive intelligence into the very fabric of hardware architecture as the hardware adaptation task center strategy. Sequence programming emerges as a cornerstone in this process, facilitating the meticulous examine and validation of the Verilog programmed adaptive AI. So now, resulting adaptive AI system not only showcases the potential for accelerated hardware-based AI, but also open avenue for application in embedded system, robotics, and is computing. Subsequent section of this paper will delve into the methodology, result, and implication, providing a comprehensive exploration of the novel frontier introduced by the marriage of adaptive AI and with Verilog programming and rigorous test bench verification. Artificial intelligence, the quest for more adaptive and efficient system, has led to innovative approaches in both software and hardware. So traditional AI system predominantly implemented in software face challenges with it come to real-time adaptability and computability efficiency. So now adaptive AI into hardware and demands a robust validation mechanism. Test bench programming emerges as a critical tool in this box. So subsequent section will delve into the methodology, experience, result, and implications, shedding light on transformative potential of marrying hardware description language with cutting-edge AI paradigm. So literature review. The adaptive AI through Verilog programming and verify via test bench programming represented a novel approach that built upon advancement in both artificial intelligence and hardware design. Hardware-based AI synthesis. Its hardware description language, including Verilog, has been explored and a means to facilitate this integration, providing a platform for parallelism and real-time adoption. Adaptive AI paradigm. Traditional AI model often struggle with adapting to changing environment and scenario. Hardware description language in AI. So Verilog uses in defining hardware component and functionality provide a fundamental for embedding AI algorithm directly into the hardware fabrication. Verification and validation in hardware design. The use of test bench programming and as a verification tool has been a standard practice. So real world simulation and stress testing. The dynamic nature of adaptive AI demands rigorous testing scenario to ensure resilience and adaptability under diverse conditions. Research gap. Adaptive AI through Verilog programming and verification via test bench programming, addressing a unique and innovation intersection of AI and hardware design. Limitation exploration of Verilog in adaptive AI. The existing literature tend to focus more broadly on hardware acceleration, and this research aims to bridge the gap by providing insights into how Verilog can be leveraged for creating dynamically adaptive AI architecture. Scarcity of research on adaptive AI hardware description. AI algorithm into hardware using Verilog programming. This research seeks to fill this gap by presenting a detailed exploration of the synthesis process and its implication for AI adaptability. So limited integration of test bench programming in adaptive AI verification. So now the test bench programming to rigorously validate the functionality and adaptability of AI systems synthesized through Verilog. Insufficient focus on real-world simulation for adaptive AI. So this research seeks to address this gap by emphasizing the significance of realistic simulation and stress testing to validate the proposed Verilog program adaptive AI under diverse and dynamic conditions. Limited study on implication of Verilog program adaptive AI. So this paper aims to go beyond the synthesis and verification aspect to discuss the potential impact of adaptive AI hardware on fields such as embedded system, robotics, and is computing. By addressing this research, the research paper on adaptive AI through Verilog programming and text-based verification contribution to the deeper understanding of synergy between hardware, additional language, adaptive AI. So methodology. Existing literature on hardware-based AI, Verilog programming, and verification methodology identify gap in the literature related to synthesis of adaptive AI using Verilog and application of test bench programming for verification. Now 3.1 is a formulation of adaptive AI algorithm. Map out the algorithm in Verilog focusing on hardware-friendly implementation that can exploit parallelism and real-time adaptability. Verilog programming utilizes Verilog feature for efficiency hardware representation of adaptive behavior, ensuring compatibility with reconfigurable hardware elements. Test bench programming include diverse simulation access stress and test the system under different conditions to ensure robustness and reliances. Real-world simulation and analyzing the system performance in dynamic and in changing environment access its ability to adapt to varying input. Stress testing implements a scenario that push adaptability of a AI system to its extremes, ensuring it maintains functionality and learns effectiveness. So verification analysis validates the adaptability claim of the Verilog program adaptive AI, ensuring that it's meet the specified performance criteria. comparison with software-based approaches. He highlighted the advantage of hardware accelerating and potential for real-time adoption. Application scenario: discuss how the hardware-based approaches could offer advantage in specific uses. Conclusion and future work. So, this methodology ensure a structure and systematic approaches to the synthesis, verification, and invaluable of adaptive AI through Verilog programming. So, software implementation. Adaptive AI implement through Verilog programming and verify by text-bench programming involves illustrating the synthesis, adaptability, and verification of AI model. And now 4.1 is simulation environment setup. Choose simulation tool adaptive compatibility with Verilog, such a model sim or VCS setup the simulation environment to execute Verilog code and text bench program. 4.2 is Verilog programming showcases, emphasizing key aspects like dynamic learning and decision making. Test bench programming showcases the test bench programming code design to validate the Verilog programming adaptability. Highlight how the test bench covers various scenarios. Real world simulation demonstrates how the system reacts to changing input, showcasing its adaptability in response to dynamic environment. Stress testing simulation. So it illustrates the system reliance and adaptability under extreme condition, emphasizing its ability to handle unexpected input. So verification analysis. It provide visual representation or images to demonstrate the system performance. Comparative analysis. So speed, efficiency, and real-time adaptability. Application scenario. Hardware-based approach is advantageous in specific usage cases. Use interaction. This could be simplify graphical interface or command line interaction. So these are the software output of adaptive AI and EP waveform, both in hexadecimal and binary is hardware implementation. So discussion. Integration of adaptive AI through Verilog. These approaches offer a unique perspective, leveraging the capability of hardware description language. Advantages of Verilog programming. Verilog inherent support of parallelism and hardware abstraction make it well suited for encoding complex AI algorithms. Test bench verification. Discussion delves into the role of text bench verification, ensuring the correctness and adaptability of Verilog programming. Adaptive AI verification analysis. So the discussion includes the examine of the system adaptability under various conditions, verifying its dynamic learning capability and decision-making accuracy. Comparison with software-based approaches. This discuss highlights the advantage of hardware accelerating, emphasizing, and potential for increasing speed and efficiency in real-time adaptive scenario. Real-world simulation and stress testing. Focus on how the adaptive AI program in Verilog responds to dynamic input and stressors, demonstrating its adaptability and resilience. Application scenario. This section explores the potential impact of such a hardware-based adaptive system in embedded system, robotics, and edge computing. Challenging and future direction. AI algorithms are extending the application scope to other domains. The discussion concludes by summarizing the key finding of the research. It's reinforced the contributions of Verilog programming and test bench verification to the field of adaptive AI, highlighting the potential for hardware-based acceleration and adaptability in the systems. The conclusion. In this conclusion, the research paper on adaptive AI utilizing Verilog programming and verification through test bench programming underscore the significance of employing adaptive methodology in artificial intelligence development. The integration of Verilog facilitates robots hardware description, while the test bench programming ensures through validation of AI system. This approach is not only enhancing the adaptability of AI model, but also contribute to the overall reliability and efficiency of the system, proving the way of advancement in the field. So these are the references. Thank you.
Yes, Satyendra, you can, it is, no, there are comments like you are going on reading the slides. So you can improve the presentation instead of
just like mention the main point and then after that explain what is the why this point is written, so that like that.
But yeah, that's fine. But it should not be like you are going on reading.
Yeah, first, but point is mentioned in slide. Then after that, explain what is the in between this.
Okay, but you can improve your presentation.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, quickly move on to AI ethics is the next message you have sent.
Yeah.
You also mentioned how this is contributing to sustainable development.
It's a hardware model to enhance the AI ethics, to enhance the psycho people. Like anything is not proper work in the human being, then by programming make the software and after that build the hardware, and then we can utilize for psycho people. Then this is the part of the psycho.
Yeah, that's what, when you are concluding, you can include these points.
Okay.
In the beginning, wherever it is appropriate.
Okay.
Okay, you can continue with the next person.
So now to develop AI ethics by Verilog programming and verify by test bench programming. These are the topic of this research. These are the outline: introduction, literature review, research gap, methodology, software implementation, discussion, conclusion, and reference. AI ethics, like AI is a stage for comprehensive exploration of ethical demonstration within artificial intelligence development. So highlighting the increasing importance of responsible AI practice and role that Verilog programming and test bench methodology. Employing Verilog programming and verification through test bench programming lays the foundation, exploring into ethical dimension of artificial intelligence demonstration. Ethical consideration become pronounced. Like introduction outlines to ensure responsibility and ethically aligns development, and transparency and societal impact in the context of AI ethics. So literature review, like on this topic is review stability of fundamental for current research demonstration gap in literature review that combine of Verilog program and test bench methodology seeks to address. Employing Verilog programming for ethical consideration. Previous study highlighting the ethical challenging inherent for accountability and transparency in AI algorithm. Within the landscape, so how Verilog programming and test bench methodology contribute to stabilize the robot's ethical fundamental for AI. So methodology. In this literature, we methodology to identify gap and stabilized a fundamental for research. Represent the underlying hardware architecture. Accountability and transparency for test bench programming. The explainability and associable impact ethical framework integration. Case studies and experimental. So evaluating their performance against ethical benchmark, comparing and analysis like a traditional AI approach, analyzing the research to draw conclusion. So feedback and iteration, incorporating inside to refine methodology and enhance ethical robustness of AI system, documentation and reporting. To make a report ethical in consideration, address and inciting gain through proposed methodology. This methodology aims to bridge the research gap between AI development. So software implementation. Ethical AI utilizing Verilog programming and verification through test bench programming involving several keywords like Verilog IED setup, AI model defining in Verilog, test bench code development, verification with test bench, ethical framework like that. So now the experimentation and analysis, to comparing it with traditional AI approaches, iteration, refinement, documentation and report. By this method you can programming and then get the output. So these are the output for this EPWave form, both hexadecimal and binary form. Now discussion AI ethics in depth analysis, interpretation and reflection on study finding, such bias, freshness, transparency and accountability, highlighting any significant advantage and limitation observed in proposed methodology, and AI develop and addressing the societal impact of AI technology, proposed potential improvement, explore practice, implementation, studying, finding real world AI application. So the various AI domain enhancing ethical practices suggest enhancement to the Verilog programming and test bench programming for validation process, acknowledgement any limitation to address them in future study, summarize key contribution for studying, finding and their potential impact on the field of ethical AI development. AI development using Verilog programming and test bench programming validation. So conclusion. AI ethics utilizing Verilog programming and test bench programming for framework by integration ethical consideration into artificial intelligence development, biasing transparency and accountability, potential to contribute significant to responsibility AI practices, validation and shaping the future of responsibility and accountability AI development. So these are the references. Thank you. Is this any comment on this presentation?
There are no comments. I think most of them are health professionals, so this might be a little new topic for them. So anyway, you go ahead with the other presentation, last presentation.
Next topic is?
Next, you have mentioned chopper controller, right?
Okay, yeah. Chopper controller DC. So my research topic is to develop chopper control DC drive system by matrix laboratory programming. So now these are the outline: introduction, literature review, research gap, methodology, software implementation, discussion, conclusion, references. So in introduction, the chopper controller in DC drive system has emerged as a pivot area of investigation. The matrix simulation as a primary tool for analyzing and simulation. Control of motor speed and torque responsibility in dynamic environment requirement sophisticated control mechanism. Primary object of this research is develop the advanced chopper controller and enhance overall performance. Matrix simulation is a tool to provide a comprehensive platform for analyzing and dynamic behavior of DC drive system. So DC drive system highlighting their introduce about fundamental principle of chopper control and its relevance in achieving speed, regulation, and energy efficiency. Chopper control emphasizing the integration of simulation study for DC motor. To develop of robots chopper controller finding presents there here in electric drive proving way of improving control strategy. So literature about DC drive highlighting the evolution of chopper control system, their impact of DC technology. Earlier DC drive system sophisticated control mechanism research began exploring the potential of chopper controller. TJE Miller flat for the foundation of understanding chopper control principle in electric fields. PWM technique in particular emerging to develop in programming by matrix laboratory. Matrix laboratory programming enhance the optimization technique in chopper control. Study we have investing the application of chopper control in a specific industry such as electric vehicle, renewable energy systems. The literature review in conduct through the review like identify key principle challenging and advance in the field. Matrix laboratory like our MATLAB DC drive system defined for objective design and optimization. System modeling DC drive system including the motor dynamic and chopper control for ensuring representation of key parameter and component. Chopper control design, PWM, pulse width modulation, advanced control study, evaluate performance of each algorithm in terms of speed regulation. Simulation study assess the impact of design chopper control on speed control, torque response, and overall system stability. Parameter optimization consider factors such as energy efficiency, response time, robustness to distribute, comparative analysis for energy saving and adaptability to varying loaded. Software implementation, chopper control DC drives by MathWork company developed the matrix laboratory programming to provide tool like MATLAB and simulation that are commonly used simulation implementation to control the system. Read the paper for carefully, go to the research to understanding the control strategy. Algorithm for chopper control DC drive system, matrix laboratory programming for simulation and coding, code translates for MATLAB environment, and these are the software simulation for chopper control DC drive system. Get the output angular wave position and angular velocity. So discussion if effectiveness of chopper control design, torque response and energy efficiency. Discuss how the implement contribute to overall performance improving of DC drive. Comparison with existing strategy, highlighting significant. Discuss how proposed designing addressing limitation. Simulation versus real world performance, addressing by dispersive and consider challenging encounter in real testing and potential solution. Optimization and parameter sensitivity. Discuss sensitivity and control to various in key parameter and how optimization discuss addressing robots to discuss disturbance to changing the load and fluctuation in input voltage, then control the output and maintain the performance under the dynamic condition. Application to a different operation condition with different load type, speed for references environment, get the control adaptability and its potential limitation. Discussion is based on the programming and optimization implementation, control the velocity, acceleration, and the energy dissipation. Perform and efficiency of DC motor, effectiveness of designing chopper control was demonstrated. Result consistency show the improving, highlighting significant of advanced strategy enhancing DC drive system. Comparing with existing chopper control strategy, if our control parameter contribute to its optimized perform under a different operation. Robustness of the chopper control to contribute distributions discussed, while the simulation result provide valuable instead real implementation. Challenging and limitation for the advanced control strategy acknowledge providing transparency and application brought additional layer of validation. So these are the references. Thank you.
Okay, congratulations. Participants, if you have any queries, feel free to share in the chat box even after the presentations. So we'll move on to the next presenter. So all the presentations have been done. So next speaker we have with us Devika. Yeah, you can now unmute yourself, start your video and presentation, ma'am, with your introduction.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just share my screen. Okay, is my PPT visible?
You can switch on your video as well.
Just a minute, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. So can I start?
Yeah, we cannot
Okay,
see you, ma'am, again.
You cannot see me?
No.
Let me turn on my camera. Can you see me now?
Now we can see you, but at the time of presentation, that video is being switched off. I think you have to give permission. In settings, while sharing, you have to keep it on.
Sir, is my video on now?
No, ma. It's getting switched off. I think with this new update, there is some settings that need to be changed.
Are the settings in Zoom or in my phone settings?
You have to allow when it asks for the first time in your device, especially this problem is with the mobiles.
Okay.
Mobiles and tabs, na? You should give access whenever you ask. It asks for camera and mic. Na? If you disable again, it will not ask unless and until you clear the data or reinstall the app. Anyway, you continue. Na? I will take screenshot now. Okay, you go to presentation.
Okay, sir.
I think with this latest update of Zoom, there has been drastic changes in the Zoom app.
Yeah.
Due to that.
Okay. Okay, I'll start my presentation. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to present to you a comprehensive exploration into the mental health challenges faced by the caregivers of intellectually challenged adolescents. So, this is a concept paper. I've reviewed so many literatures and made a paper. So, coming to the introduction part, caring for adolescents with intellectual special needs is a complex endeavor that transcends the traditional caregiving responsibilities. Adolescence mark rapid physical, emotional, and social changes, presents unique challenges for individuals with intellectual disabilities and the caregivers alike. So, the term intellectual special needs, I'm going to discuss what is intellectual special need. It encompasses a wide range of conditions, each presenting its own set of challenges and support needs. Like for autism spectrum disorder to Down syndrome and intellectual developmental disorder, these conditions demand ongoing support and assistance, particularly during the critical development stage of adolescence. Yet, research on caregiving for individuals with intellectual special needs has predominantly focused on children or adults, or there were only less literatures on especially the caregivers of intellectual special needs. So, the mental health of caregivers has emerged as a topic of increasing concern for the caregiving community. So, amidst this, they're facing a lot of challenges, and amid these challenges, the caregivers of adolescents with intellectual special needs demonstrate remarkable resilience and resourcefulness. So, in this, through this presentation, I'm going to highlight what are the challenges or what are the mental health challenges faced by the caregivers of adolescents with intellectual special needs. So, coming to the literature review, through this literature,
not visible, it is showing some icon instead of
my
slide.
screen is not visible.
The slides are not visible. Now
Sir, is it visible? Okay. Okay. So, through this literature review, I'm providing a comprehensive examination of the existing literature research on the mental health challenges faced by the caregivers of adolescents with intellectual special needs. So, drawing from a range of scholarly sources, this review aims to contextualize the experiences of caregivers with a broader landscape of caregiving research and identify the key themes and findings and highlights gaps in the literature that the current study seeks to address. So, at first, I'm going to talk about the impact on caregiver mental health. Previous studies have consistently documented the adverse impact of caregiving on the mental health of caregivers, with caregivers of individuals with intellectual disabilities experiencing higher levels of stress, anxiety, depression, and overall psychological distress compared to the general population. And it was a study conducted by Hastings and Miodrag and Horup in 2010. And the demand of caregiving, including managing challenging behaviors, coordinating medical and therapeutic interventions, and advocating for services, contribute to caregiving burden and emotional strain, which was taken from a study conducted by Beckett and Tostica in 2011. And caregivers may also experience social isolation, stigma, and societal attitude towards the disability, which can also exacerbate feelings of loneliness, shame, and alienation, and which was taken from a study conducted by Hastings and Burke in 2010. Then we can talk about the coping strategies. Like, despite the challenges they face, the caregivers of individuals with intellectual disabilities demonstrate remarkable resilience and resourcefulness in coping with their caregiving responsibilities, which was taken from the study conducted by Hastings and Brown. And the research has also identified various coping mechanisms utilized by caregivers, including like seeking social support and purpose in caregiving, and caregivers' ability to adapt to their circumstances and find sources of strength and support with their social network contributes to their overall well-being and resilience. And despite the importance of support services for caregiver well-being, research also indicates that caregivers often face barriers to access this adequate support. Even though there are support, the caregivers are not able to access that support, which was mentioned in a study conducted by Tostica and Perry in 2020. Then there are so many existing support system services like respite care, support groups, and educational programs. Most of the caregivers don't even know that there are these programs for them, and there are so many scholarships for children like that, and helping the caregivers, and most of them don't even know that there are services for supporting them. So the gaps remain in the availability, accessibility, and cultural relevance of support services, highlighting the need for further investment in caregiver support initiatives. So this is a summarized literature review conducted by me. So the literature review underscores the complex interplay of factors that contribute to the mental health challenges faced by caregivers of adolescents with intellectual special needs. While the caregivers demonstrate a resilience and resourcefulness in coping with their responsibilities, they continue to experience significant emotional strain and social isolation. So, addressing the mental health needs of caregivers require a multi-dimensional approach that acknowledges the importance of social support, coping strategies, and accessible support networks, which is designed to the unique needs of caregivers and their adolescents with special needs. Then coming to the methodology part, I have conducted a literature review of so many journals and articles from Indian and international contexts, and also I mainly focused on the caregiver journey and the mental health of caregivers of people with various types of challenges, and importance of critical reflection in the analysis of secondary data is also considered. Then coming to the discussion and conclusion part. So the findings of the study shed light on the multidimensional nature of the mental health challenges experienced by the caregivers of adolescents with intellectual special needs. They also reported elevated levels of stress, anxiety, and depression stemming from the demands of caregiving responsibilities, and also they are facing a lot of discrimination from the society because their child is a one with intellectual special. And also, these findings align with the previous research on caregiver mental health conducted by many other studies. The current study's findings are consistent with the previous research documenting the heightened mental health struggles of caregivers of individuals with intellectual challenges. Also, the findings have important implications for the development of support services and interventions aimed at promoting caregiver well-being. Like there should be some support services for the caregivers. Like in other countries, in foreign countries, there are many support groups available for the caregivers, and there are many programs which are tailored for supporting the caregivers. Here, we are not giving any importance to caregivers. We are only giving importance to people with some special needs or some challenges or some physical disturbances. We are not considering that the caregivers are also in a phase of burnout, or they are also facing many challenges in their mental, physical, and emotional well-being. So there should be support systems for them. There should be interventions for them. There should be policies for them. And okay, as a summary, the study illuminates the emotional complexities of caregiving of adolescents with intellectual special needs, highlighting the significant mental health challenges faced by the caregivers. So, addressing the caregiver well-being is very important for ensuring the overall health and quality of care for adolescents with special needs also. By providing care for the caregivers, we are not only providing care for them, we are actually providing care for those who want, those who are seeking the care. Like if the caregiver is not well, the services or the service provided by them will also will not be good. So there is an urgent need of stakeholders, including policymakers, healthcare providers, and community organizations, to prioritize caregiver support initiatives. Health advocacy efforts should also focus on increasing the funding of support services, raising awareness of caregiver needs, and implementing evidence-based interventions. And the future research should explore the trajectories of caregiver mental health and examine the effectiveness of specific support interventions and investigate the impact of cultural factors on caregiver experience. By continuing the advance of understanding of caregiver well-being, we can strive towards creating more inclusive and supportive environments for caregivers and their adolescents with intellectual special needs. So that's all I want to discuss in this presentation. Thank you.
Congratulations, Devika. Very well presented. Very nice.
Thank you, sir.
For taking. And we wish you all the success for your future endeavors.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So next presentation would be by Mr. Pradeep. And after Pradeep, we have Sabina Christina and then Sri Kuti Hari CP. And anyone else waiting for the presentations, kindly share in chat box. We'll be calling you as per the order shared in the chat box. Sri Kuti, you can wait for some time. You are the third speaker from now. We'll invite you. Next, we have with us Pradeep. Yeah, Pradeep, now you can unmute yourself, start your video and presentation.
A very good evening, everyone. I would like to thank the organizers and also the presenters today for wonderfully presenting their ideas. And first of all, I would like to share a few words about World Air Day, as Ravindra sir has already shared about it. So every year, 22nd of April, we celebrate World Air Day, and this year the theme is planet versus plastic. So a lot of the time, microplastics causes a lot of damage to our environment, and moreover, it takes a lot of time to dispose in our Mother Earth as well. So any of them in the participants, try to reduce the plastic usage, maybe try to shift to sustainable plastic, sustainable sources. Maybe you can carry your own bag. like when you are going to purchase grocery stores or any other areas. And also the most of the time during the cleaning of the beaches or any other like any tourism spots, we'll find a lot of plastic leftovers. So try to participate in any cleaning cleaning drives, beach cleaning drives, so in your surrounding areas, so that you can make an impact in your locality. And because a healthy environment needs to be healthy and sustainable environment which is needed in an hour, we need to pass on to the next generation with a healthy ecosystem, not with a system with a polluted planet, and also loss of biodiversity, and also ecological imbalance. So we need to have promote an sustainable way, that is through sustainable practices. So if you have any schools or educational institutions also, you can go and use some talk about the how the plastic impacts on the environment, how being a responsible citizen, you can be part of it. If you are a part of any resident welfare association, you can also maybe conduct some aware sessions by inviting in NGOs or any even from the municipality about uh, getting our own waste, maybe converting it to waste to energy. So a lot of the municipalities in metro cities, they have conducting such initiatives. Maybe you can also conduct such initiatives. Maybe they can organize some training camps so that these plastic cannot be gone into the landfills, because today landfills has become a major problem. Even in our city of Hyderabad, I belong to the city of Hyderabad. So we can see that even every time we have trillions of dumps of waste we've been piled up in the landfills. Now, if anyone asks about the which is which is the most I mean, in terms of a height, and no one will say about Golconda or any other historical monuments. Everyone will say about the Jawaharnagar dump yard. I mean, because that much amount of plastic has been deposited. Like if everyone can take some responsibility in terms of waste segregation, like if you have a kitchen waste or any other place, maybe you can use it as a manure. So like a we can prepare vermicompost. You can also like you can get some expert training. Most of the NGOs, they offer free training. If you are willing to learn about it, they can offer such classes also in your locality, in your society itself. You can do that, so that these amount of waste cannot be gone into the landfills. Imagine the suffering of the people who are living in their landfill area. Every day they live in a polluted area. They inhale a lot of polluted air, toxicity of amount of toxicity. This waste has been dumped by us only. So if you can reduce the amount of waste, and you can reutilize or reutilize any of the manner, like we have the 3R policy, reduce, reuse and recycle. You can opt for that. So we can doing such small initiatives. uh, there will not be no more burden on the sewerage plant or also any landfills. So hope everyone can take small initiative, because it is today's World Earth Day. A small actions can make a meaningful difference. So with that, I am starting my presentation. Kindly be patient. I'm sharing my screen. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, it's showing summary slide. You can go to
1 minute, sir. I'm adjusting it. Now, sir, are you able to see it, sir? Ravindra, sir?
It's in the overview slide. Now,
hello everyone. My name is Pradeep. So I work as an animal welfare. So currently volunteer with Holistic Health Foundation. I am also a certified rabies educator by Global Alliance for Rabies Control, which is one of the governing body in elimination of rabies. They work with United Nations and also many other organizations and promoting the rabies awareness and also vaccination. It's a free source. Anyone can be attend the skill. It's open source. You can also be get certified. So coming to today's topic, my topic is about connection between animal cruelty and mental health issue. As today, this is a psychology awareness week. So I thought like discussing this topic is more appropriate. So moving on to so today in the overview, we'll talk about animal abuse. So I hope everyone might hear about animal abuse in the participants, right? And also what actually is an animal abuse and the stages of cruelty. And at the same time, the statistics, how this animal cruelty is happening and all the amount of the like intersection of the violence patterns. Let's say about domestic violence, the definition of the definitions and cycle of abuse and importance of addressing animal cruelty and mental health issues. So with that, I'm proceeding to the next slide. So what actually is animal abuse? So any one of the participants, so you can say it, any ideas or thoughts, what actually is animal abuse? You can mute yourself or you can also message.
Feel free to respond. You can unmute yourself or use chat box to respond.
Yeah, it's an open platform, so anyone can share your views and perspectives. It will be highly appreciated because I am giving my time, so it would be quite interactive. It's not something like I am presenting, you are listening. So present your perspectives too. Okay, so animal abuse is not is an intentional cruelty or abuse. So most of the time we see human abuse, human violence towards humans, right? So similarly, animal abuse is also something violence committed towards animals. So it may be in the different forms. Some it may be sorry, and neglect. Suppose if a person has bought a dog, is not providing proper nutrition and also always staying in the soaring sun, it is not able to move and it is not able to perform its natural behavior. So it comes under negligence. And also if you take about the livestock, for example, if a cattle owner is like mercilessly left the cattle on the road, roaming freely, and if it got any infection, so it has mercilessly left on the road. So these are comes under negligence or carelessness. The other form is animal fighting. Lot of the times you see in like cockfighting and many bullfights. So these are like some people organize animal fighting. These are also comes under organized crimes because it involves gambling and also other illegal activities too. So most of the states have been have their many of the acts to prohibit that. So I'm not discussing in detail. So other thing is animal hoarding. Most of the people love animals. At the same time, what actually comes is like they keep the animals more. Okay, I like dog. I'll take the to home. At the same time, I will also keep it. I'll keep another dog. I'll give to it will comes around more than his capacity. So they are called as hoarders because keeping animals closely packed, not providing basic necessities. At the same time, like even it's not a fondness. It also like something animal needs to be taken care properly in terms of health, nutrition, and also physical and mentally. What constitutes to an animal abuse? So here are a lot of things. One is shooting. Lot of the times, in recent times, in Mahabubnagar, we have seen that some person has used an air gun to kill around 20 dogs. The reason is his dog has been bitten by the stray dogs. So we out of grudge and intentionally, he has killed 20 dogs with an air rifle. So the level of cruelty, the level of heightened of violence has committed towards such animals. And some also beat the animal. The animal is not listening to them. If animal is not hearing to their words, so some what they will do is they'll hit the animal with a stone, what are object, sharp objects. Some even use spike boards, for example, horses and all. Some use very harsh methods. Other thing is torturing. Some also torture an animal, like not providing food. Some kick the animal with their legs or anything. Suffocating, keeping the animal in a very confinement area. Even the animal cannot fit into that picture. Let's say example of battery cages in the hands of hens. And also in puppy mills, a lot of the times what happens is they keep the animals very closely packed. So though it will be very suffocating. Imagine like if you have been put in a very closed room with no food, no water, how we will feel. The same thing happens with the animal also. Some even poison it. So poison intentionally. So in this, I have one article read in the newspaper quite a long time. So what happened is the person is been he doesn't like animals. Unfortunately, he was bitten by some community dog. So with out of frustration and all, he has put a poison in the food. So unfortunately, the dog has died. So a case has been filed. So stabbing we hear general old in humans we hear about stabbing, right? In animal also animal abuse also will have the stabbing, and some hang some hang the animals. And there is a one particular case in Hyderabad where a person has been he is he has wantedly has hanged a puppy, and thereafter he has thrown the puppy from the 4th floor. Imagine how horrible it is. And some also dragged them. Some other thing is such a horrible thing. Some actually do a sexual assault with an animal. So these are the some constitutes these are the some of the brutal things. I'm sorry to say use that word, but it's a very brutal things that the animal abuse has been happening in our society. Why do people harm animals? We might have a doubt, why are people so violent towards animals? The first thing is to control an animal. So some lot of the times if the animal is not listening to them, they don't know how to handle an animal. So what they actually do is, in order to control, to gain the power of the animal, so they hit an animal. And at the same time, to get back the animal. It's not about the animal willingness. They're forcefully I want to get that animal back. I will do whatever I can. So in that, he will do the violence towards animals. And to satisfy a prejudice against species or breed, some people, this is actually very horrible thing. So person doesn't like an animal. So what actually it is, he purposefully to, in order to, someone hates an animal, so he purposefully and intentionally he harm an animal to enhance one's own aggressiveness. See, for example, he has an, let's say, for example, A is a person who has a like a, he is working in an organization, so he has a pet dog also. So suddenly, A's boss has, like, has scolded him very badly. So what happened is, like, he was very frustrated. He can't express in front of his boss, right? So if he yelled against his boss, he will be fired because of his behavioral attributes. So what actually he will do is, he will carry all this frustration to an animal, because the animal can't speak for themselves, right? So he will go and harm that animal, and to shock people for amusement. This will actually happens in circuses, zoos. So what actually happens is, in order to shock people, or in order to show the people that, hey, I am controlling this dog, see this. So, and to make an animal a scapegoat, lot of the times, in order to make an animal. This happens with the donkeys, mules, like when they carry heavy lots of loads on their back, right? So they get injured, they can suffer. And some, there's law-specific sadism. We all talk about sadism, right? Psychopath, violence behavior. So such side of attributes which make people cruel towards animals. Animal abuse, why should we care? So Pradeep, you have told each and everything you have explained. Then why we should care? It's an animal, right? Why we have to care? And why we should take care of it? Because we are humans, we have many problems. We are a socially, emotionally intelligent species in the Mother Earth. But why should we care about them? What will happen? So the answer is, the abuse not only hurt the animal, the abuse not only end with the cycle of an animal, the abuse could be happening to a human being. If it's in a family environment, the abuse will definitely target or create a violence towards his family. This indicates a family dysfunctional too. So interpersonal violence and animal abuse. So violence incarcerated offenders are likely to report childhood history of abuse. Like, if, for example, if there is in a household or a family, so we can see that lot of the times what happens is, if wife and husbands are like some sort of issue has happened. So every time they quarrel each other, they use abusive words. And what actually help, they, like, the husband always hits his wife, and he was a alcoholic. So what happens is, seeing that situation, family situation, seeing that vulnerable condition of this family, the children who grown up, they will have a higher level of history of animal abuse. In the US, in United States, 45% of children who engaged in school, they also shooting also engages in animal abuse. At the same time, children that have been sexually abused, sexually exploited, so they are likely to abuse animals as well, because they can't show the violence on the perpetrators, and they don't know like what exactly they have undergone. For example, rape victims. So most of the time they will be traumatic stage. So they will become so harsh towards the society, and the first and foremost thing what they will do is they develop aversion and abuse towards animals. And domestic violence victims often report that animals are abused. See, whenever in a household, if you can see that when a woman has been abused, mostly if he has a pet, they will target on the pet animals. And also because they love that animal, they are fond of it. So they will target on that particular animal. They will cruelly behave towards it, and psychologically they will abuse the like women. In a recent survey that presented in the US, 20% of the boys will perpetrate animal abuse. 50% of the children will witness animal abuse in a US household. Coming to the domestic violence, we all talk about domestic violence. We all talk about child abuse. We all talk about women abuse. Many things we talk about it. Domestic violence is emotionally criticizing. It exists in various forms. So here are some of the forms which I have presented in my PPT. So first thing is emotional. So they will criticizing every time, yelling at them, humiliating, destroying their personal property without withholding affection. This happens in the society. And psychological. So what happens is, if a person don't like you, for example, I'm saying X person doesn't like you. So what they will do is, in order to suppress you or psychologically target you, they start isolating you from your friends, family, and they'll place a fear and blocking a doorway, threatening you, violence. And at the same time, if you got any animals, or if you care about a particular, like maybe street dog or like community dog you feed, or if you are caring about, if you have a pet dog, they will threaten them and harm the animals, so that you become a psychologically a weaker person. And the other form of domestic violence is sexually unwanted touching, sexually name calling, accused of unfaithfulness. So these implicating painful sex, these are all the things. Physically throwing objects, pushing, showing, slapping, punching, all the form of violence attributes which contributes to domestic violence. So here is the cycle of violence. So there are a husband and wife. So what actually happens is, this husband every time he yells at his wife and beats her. And the very next day, he will go and say sorry and say gifts, like offer gifts, and let's say that let's be normal. So what actually happens is, the wife thought like, okay, let me be happy. He's realizing his mistake. He's offering the gifts and all. So what actually happens is, the person is not changing it. The person is not changing his behavioral attributes, but he is contributing violence, the same level of violence, the same level of tension builds in the wife, and the same level of explosion, the routine thing. So most of the time, if you see in violence towards women, this is one of the typical cycle of violence. And also anytime when you are in a relationship, you'll have the partner. So this type of behavior is more prevalent. So how can we end it? Why should we care about domestic violence? Because 95% of the victims affected by the domestic violence are women. Because like most of the vulnerable sections of the society are women, children, elderly people, and voiceless animals. They can't speak for themselves, and every 9 seconds, a woman is beaten. 42% of women who are murdered are killed by a male partner. This is a survey has been conducted in US, and they use a battering as a leading cause of injury. So they do, even without the consent of women, they torture her, and also they take away all her properties. And domestic violence is more prevalent among the women because among the women, the diabetes, breast cancer, and cervical cancer. Domestic violence accounts about 67 billion per year, or 15% of the total crime cost. So that much amount of violence. And you might have a doubt, what is the interrelation between domestic violence and animal abuse, and why you are explaining all these things? Let me present you one thing. Michael Carter, he actually has stalked and killed her girlfriend, Christine Larder, in Boston. That is in Manchester, in USA. And then later on, he has killed himself. Prior to the breakup, Christine used to have a kitten. So what actually Carter has done is, he has put the kitten in a hot shower and actually shaved off the hair. Later on, thrown the kitten from the 4th floor window, leading to death. So here there are two things you need to realize. One is, animal abuse is not ending with animals. It actually also contributes to the domestic violence, interpersonal violence too. And here, Christine case is one example. In our India, there is also one sensational case where maybe you have also read in newspaper. So in the year of 2015, Jisha rape murder case. So if you can Google it, you can get it. So the Uttar Pradesh police has got the person. When the police has inquired the culprit, like what was, upon the investigation, has revealed a surprising facts. One is that prior to the Jisha rape case and murder, the accused has had a sexual intercourse with a goat, had raped a goat. So this tells us that animal abuse is not only ending with animals, it has a violence patterns with humans also. Why batterers harm animals? First and foremost thing is, why the people who commit crime towards animals only? To demonstrate the power, show that no one in the family is safe from his violence. In order to prove that they are under our hands, it's something like like you see in many movies, like people will uphold them, like house arrest, you hear about it, right? So in order to show them they are superior, other person are inferior, and from their hands they can't be escaped. Such side of behavior, violence behavior. Force participation in the abuse. They forces a woman to participate according to their will. If they are not participating, they will abuse their pet, torture their pet in order to get their required thing. Perpetuate a context of terror. So every time what actually happens is, every time someone like controls an animal, or sometimes everyone abuses animal, so the person who may be he or she will definitely use a violence towards her. So promotion of victim helplessness. So at that time, what happens is, because the victim has a love towards animals. So in order to not to do anything, what they will actually do is they intend to do all this, whatever the perpetrator he wants. So he will do all this and prevent separation. Something unintentionally, what actually they will do is they will put their pet dogs or pet animals at risk, so that this person, he or she, can go over there. And also punishment for living. Some people are like, it's their psychological behavior. So what actually is, they will harm their pet. So some people, especially it happens with a relationship. So what actually they do is they harm the pet. So with the intention that they want to show that, okay, this lady has left me alone, so let me target the animal first. Let me harm the animal, and so that in order to create a fear, or so that they will come back. Animal abuse and children. Half of all children witness animal abuse, especially in United States and even in India also. 2/3 of the male children may witness animal abuse. 20% of male children may perpetrate animal abuse. So in the next slide, I'm going to explain it more further. So, and why children are becoming violent towards animals is, this is one of the story. It's published in the Indian Express. 4 children aged between 8 and 9 years went to a park in Kanpur. It's in Uttar Pradesh, Kidwinagar, to play. Later, one child set the hut where the puppies were sleeping. So he wantedly, see, children, they don't know about it, right? So they among the 3-4 children, so one of them has like what he had did is, he light up the hut where the small puppies have been sleeping. So the puppies have been burnt alive. Even at that very small age, even the law also, maybe they can take into the juvenile court or juvenile justice. So what they will punishment is, they can send to that juvenile home. That will temporarily only. If the parents are at the school, if they observe this violent behavior, the child would not commit such heinous crime towards animals. Because children are very eager. They observe the parental behavior only. So every time when the parents are doing some violence, by seeing them, by growing in that such environment, they will also have such violence behavior, especially when they are committing crime towards animals. They will have this behavior. And in this picture, if you can see, I hope you all know about Veerappan, right? You know about the notorious, one of the notorious criminal, ruthless person. We all know about it. He was 2 states who has terrored like anything. Do you know that Veerappan was also animal abuse? Has committed an animal abuse. He has killed a baby elephant at his early age of 16. So, with the help of his uncle, Salvai Gounder, he is a poacher. So what actually these poachers will do is, like, they'll kill the wild animals mercilessly, and they'll, especially elephants, for the trunks, and also lot of the ivory. So for that, they mercilessly kill that. So Veerappan, on seeing his uncle killing an elephants, so he started to do this violent behavior. Every time he kills an elephant, he says that I am getting instant gratification. So that is what actually is the violence. That violence he has observed from his uncle. If Veerappan was noticed well earlier, he would not be an anti-social element for the society. He might be an engineer, he may be a doctor or something else. What to know and do it help. So India is, we have a lot of rules, regulations. It's a very protection of animals. It's one of the finest laws we have in India, that is called Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act, and also Wildlife Protection Act 1972. We have many rules and regulations and amendments. But in spite of that, the crime towards animals have been happening. And not only it ends with the cycle of violence not only ends with the animals, it will also commit the crime towards human beings also. So in summary, I would like to say that every 60 seconds, an animal has been abused in India. Animal abuse is a conduct disorder, an antisocial personality disorder, which should need to be addressed at the childhood itself. But how it can be addressed? The question is how it can be addressed. Because our educational curriculum doesn't teach about such things. Only focuses on traditional education system. So by establishing counseling centers, maybe a psychology or any social workers, because the social workers work with the societal problems, and animal abuse is also a societal issue which cannot be neglected. So one needs to be working with the government level, creating some policies, educational policies. So working towards the creating an awareness programs at the educational institution, especially from the childhood level, so that the violent circle in children can be slowly reduced. And third most thing is social work profession. It's a noble profession and they need to work with animal welfare organization and a cross-sectional approach. That means animal welfare organization, mental health profession that includes psychologists, psychiatrists, and law enforcement to address the animal cruelty issues. A psychosocial behavior profiling needs to be introduced in the law enforcement, especially during the training of the IPS officers, so that police, in terms of police department and judiciary level, that means judges, to check whether the accused has a past record of animal abuse, so that the violent circle in a perpetrator can be greatly reduced, and will have a database about the crimes. Unfortunately, in NCRB, National Crime Bureau's reports, we don't have a record of animal abuses. We have the wildlife offense, but we don't have a animal abuse. So reporting the animal abuse is very important, because when more number of cases have been reported, this will pave the pathway for the amendment of stricter laws. The existing laws can be more even stricter, and animal abuse or suffering of animal is ultimately a gateway to the human violence. So don't let it go in silence. So with that, I am ending my presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Ravindra sir, for organizing such initiatives and bringing about various diversified people in the eminent profession and providing their knowledge and expertise. I also thank the participants, also the presenters who are sharing their expertise. Wishing you all the very best. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Ravindra sir. Sir, Ravindra sir.
Congratulations, Pradeep, very well presented. Mama. Yeah, congratulations, Pradeep. We wish you all the success for future endeavors. Very well presented. So if you have any queries, you can use chat box to share your queries. If there are none, you can continue to share in chat box. We'll move on to our next presentation for the day.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, sir.
So next we have with us Sabrina Christie. Sabina Christina, are you there? You can raise your hand. Okay. So next, Sri Kuti Hari. Are you there? Yeah, you can unmute yourself, start your video and presentation.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Please continue. You can...
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am. You are audible. Start your video and presentation.
And am I visible? Okay. Good evening, all. Myself, Rekute Hari, and I'm a fourth semester student, MSW student in Sri Shankaracharya University, Kaladi. And let's go to my presentation. Is my PPT visible, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Please continue with your introduction.
Okay. So, the name of the study is a study on transmen in sports, experience of discrimination. Let's come to the introduction. In recent years, the realm of sports has undergone significant transformation, transcending its traditional boundaries to become a powerful platform for societal progress and change. As the world becomes more attuned to the notion of gender identity and expression, sports have emerged as a focal point where this evolving understanding intersects with deeply ingrained norms and expectations. Within this dynamic landscape, the experiences of transgender men or trans men in sports have become the subject of intense scrutiny, debate, and unfortunately discrimination. The challenges faced by trans men in athletic environments are manifold, ranging from prejudiced attitudes and exclusionary practices of systematic barriers that hinder their participation and success. These obstacles not only impede individuals' opportunities, but also perpetuate harmful stereotypes and misconceptions about gender diversity in sports. As the conversation around gender identity and inclusion gains momentum, there is an urgent need to understand the unique expressions, challenges, experiences, challenges, and disparities encountered by trans men in this context. My objectives are explore the types and frequency of discrimination experienced by transgender men participating in various sports. And second one is identify the barriers transgender men encounter in accessing and participating in sports activities. And third one is investigate the attitude and perceptions of coaches, teammates, and administrators towards transgender men in sports settings. Coming to my review of literature, a study Problems and Prospects of Trans Women and Trans Men in Chennai, Tamil Nadu by the author Gana Saga Mitra S. The next one is the level of society's awareness about the living experience of transgender persons. Others are Sarah W. Morgan and Patricia E. Stevens. And third one is the prevalence and predictors of transgender identity. Others, Shira Morgan. And the third one is the identity development, the level of disclosure of transgender individuals and their relationship to the community by Roger J. Sacker and Esther Rothberg. So the last one is the gender identity development progression of trans men. Others is Laura M. DK. Next is the methodology. My research design is a qualitative method and data collection method will be a qualitative interview. And my samples are 15 trans men who are actively participating in sports. Next to come to the discussion. Discrimination faced by transgender men in sports is a pressing issue that highlights the broader challenges surrounding gender identity and includes athletic environments. Transgender men often encounter various forms of discrimination which can significantly impact the their participation, performance, and overall well-being. One of the most common forms of discrimination is verbal abuse and derogatory language directed towards transgender athletes. This type of hostility not only undermines their self-confidence but also contributes to the hostile and unwelcoming environment. Transgender men may also face exclusion from teammates and competitions based on outdated and discriminatory beliefs about their athletic abilities or concerns related to their gender identity. Additionally, unfair policies and regulations can further hinder transgender men's participation in sports. These policies may impose unnecessary medical or legal requirements such as hormone testing or gender verification that create barriers to entry and limit their opportunities for athletic development and achievement. This discrimination against transgender men in sports not only affects them individually but also perpetuates social stigma and prejudice against transgender individuals as a whole. It reinforces harmful stereotypes and misconceptions, making it more challenging for transgender men to gain acceptance and recognition with the sports community. Then coming to my conclusion, the discrimination faced by transgender men in sports is a complex and multifaceted issue that underscores the broader challenges surrounding gender identity and inclusivity in athletic settings. Transgender men often encounter various forms of discrimination, like I already said, ranging from verbal abuses and exclusion to unfair policies and regulations that hinder their participation and development in sports. This discrimination not only impacts their individual experience, but also perpetuates social stigma and prejudice against transgender individuals as a whole. Rights, awareness, and advocating for transgender rights in sports, many barriers and challenges remain. There is pressing need for continued effort to promote inclusivity, challenge stereotypes, and ensure equal opportunity for transgender men within the sports community. This including revising and updating policies, providing education and training, and creating a supportive environment where transgender men can participate fully and freely without fear of
Your voice is now it's okay. We lost your voice for a few seconds.
Where is that, sir? Should we continue or restart my presentation again?
No. It's okay, fine. In the last conclusion part, I think we lost your voice. So what inspired you to choose this topic, Ma?
Well, I think transgender people need to recognize in the society more because and well, I chose the topic which is the trans men who are participating in sports. Well, I think that sports and arts are the terms which connect people more, and it will be a new experience, or it will give more opportunity to understand or the transgender people to the whole other people to know about them, and also it will be a great opportunity for them to attend in sports which they are interested. And I think even there is also groups or places, platforms they can participate in sports, but still there is some places there are discrimination and stigma going on. So I chose this topic because I wanted to know if there is still discrimination going on in that sports settings, or if they are still be treated as equal, or are they feeling anything, or are they feeling outcasted or something like that? Hello, sir.
Okay. So you have conducted research, Nama. How did you choose the sample?
Well, I got a connection through the students who are studying in MPS department in my college to another university, and I got connected to trans men who are participating in sports over there.
How did you know? How did you come to know they are trans men or transgenders? Have they explicitly stated, or there are any students studying in colleges who you know already? How did you identify the sample? How do you know that
well, they have. Well, they have their certificates, and they all are participating in sports under the category where trans men are, or the transgenders are participating in sports.
Okay. So they have, I mean, when you have gone there, did you verify their certificates and then chosen them, or do you know prior to sampling only that they are trans men?
No, actually, there are people who had made study with them or had connection with them already, whom I know. So
okay.
I got to know them through them. So
okay. So further, what is your further research on this topic, or you would like to further extend this topic? Or?
At this moment, I wanted to know about this discrimination, and I wanted to know that if because of this discrimination, is there any people who are trans men or who are identified as transgenders are still debating about should they join the sports, even if they are they have previous experiences, or if they are talented, or they are interested. So they may be heard about this any other these kind of things from their other people. I mean, the people who are in this community. So I wanted to know that people are being unsure about staying in the sports where they are really interested, where they wanted to build up a career or something. So I just wanted to know about that, and at this moment I just want to know that, and after this maybe I will continue the study into further higher levels, I think.
Okay, ma. Congratulations. Pradeep, do you have any query?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. First of all, I would like to congratulate you, Srikuti, for choosing this topic. So, because transgenders and trans men, they especially face a lot of societal oppressions. Many governments are also coming up with the new formulative policies for their upliftment in terms of education, and I think in the state of Tamil Nadu, the one of the first trans women who has been appointed as a SI. So she has cleared her exams. That's in the sports category only. So when you are saying about the topic, I just recollected it. So she haven't got the opportunity that easily. So she challenged to the Madras High Court, and after that she has the court has given her a verdict in positive favor. So she's the first trans woman to join in the service of the police, Tamil Nadu Police Department. So good to see your research formulative. A small suggestion from my side. What I have observed from your PPT is it's like something a narrative thing. Maybe you can explain it more. Saying some examples. You explained about like you have interviewed 15 persons, right? The qualitative study, right? So maybe you can share their experiences so that it will be people also get to know like they will be also involved. So these were my suggestions. So rest was good.
Yeah, thank you, Pradeep, for your additions.
Yeah, thanks a lot, sir. I think we lost her signal.
There is a network problem.
Yes, sir.
So I think with this we are done with today's presentations. So thank you everyone for joining us on second day of 1 week conference. So kindly fill up the feedback form which has been raised in the form of polls before leaving the platform. And see you all tomorrow at the same time, 6 o'clock, with the same link. And those presenters who did not present yesterday, day before yesterday, kindly make use of the opportunity and don't wait till last day and complete your presentations. Already based on the registration on first come, first serve basis, as per your preference, we have been listing the presentations on the website. Even if it is not listed on the website in the tentative schedule, you can also make a request here. And those who have not presented, which are listed in the tentative schedule, will be appended to the next day schedule. So you can directly.
Hello, sir.
Hama.
So sorry for the. I don't know what happened. I think the.
It's okay.
My
there was
phone
some
has
network
some
issue.
problem.
Yeah. You got disconnected. Anyway,
Yeah.
congratulations, ma.
Okay,
Wish
sir.
you all
Thank
the
you.
success. And there is a feedback form which has been shared. Kindly fill up the feedback form and immediately share your details as mentioned in the email. That is mandatory for all the presenters.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
So all the presenters who are waiting for their presentations and who could not complete today, you can complete it tomorrow and try to complete as early as possible. And see you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.
Good night, sir.
After filling the feedback, you may leave the platform. Take care. Good night. See you all tomorrow.